Chimpanzee up, monkey news!
Excellent. So, Monkey News time on XFM. Karl Pilkington, the man in the hot seat. Karl, what have you got for us?
Okay, Monkey News this week. We've covered a lot of stuff.
We have indeed.
Now, do you know, like, there's places where you can go for, like, weekend rests and stuff,
Sure.
and you relax, you sit in a little spa, you might have a swim and stuff. Well, they've got a place done for monkeys.
Of course they have.
Right, they can go there, they relax, forget about all the stuff they've got going on in their head. They can have a manicure.
Right.
Got nice meals.
It's not called a manicure, though, it's called a chimpacure.
Beauty treatments.
Yeah.
Right, look good and stuff.
Yeah, well, look good, feel good, yeah.
Now, you might think, well, that's pretty normal.
Well.
The bit I haven't told you about is it's actually run by a couple of chimps.
Oh, God! Oh, God! Oh, God, you're a maniac!
Right.
Oh, for Christ! Oh.
Let's just...
That's like coming a chimp!
Let's just...
Of course it's not!
No, it is, because think about it, right?
No, not think about it. What do you mean, yes it is? Of course it's not run by a couple of chimps. What do they do, get a loan?
Right, if a chimp wants to have a rest,
Yeah.
where would you go to? A place that's run by humans that don't know what chimps' needs are?
No! My point is this, how did they get it together? How did the two chimps, Mr. and Mrs. Chimp, went for a loan and said, I'll tell you what we need, a spa.
I think it started off quite simple, right? Just you know, basic stuff.
But they've expanded over time because it's become so popular.
It's gone mental down there.
Sure.
Go!
They've all heard about it. Now, the thing is, the problem is this, right? That isn't even the top and bottom of it, right?
Christ.
The problem is, it's been going on and on and on, right? It's been earning a lot of money and stuff. The monkeys are happy. The monkeys that go there are loving it. They're telling friends and stuff. They're all coming to it. Now, the problem is, it's this little monkey, little man monkey and a little woman monkey, right?
Yeah.
They were sort of girlfriend and boyfriend.
Sort of. It's an open relationship, they can play around if they want.
Well, the problem is they're not married, right? Now,
trouble brewing.
the lad monkey, fella monkey, he's getting quite old.
Mm.
And the problem is, because it's his name that's down on all the stuff.
Carl,
all the forms. Let him finish.
I'm getting scared now.
Let him finish.
It's his name on the business, and the problem is his missus is kind of like, what's going to happen?
Sure.
Where
If
are
he
you
passes away.
getting this from? What?
Internet.
Carl, I don't know where to start.
Now,
This is the.
Can we
this
just
is
hear
the-
the end?
This is ridiculous.
so the problem is, the
Female
girl-
monkey is worried that the male monkey
she's worried.
is
What's
going to die.
What's going to happen with the
gonna
business? What's going to happen?
Of course.
Right now,
What do you mean the business?
the health
There isn't a
spa-
business. It's a joke.
Health
Rick,
spa.
you're not listening. His name's on the form. The male monkey's name, it's in his name.
Now the problem is, the woman monkey has got some kids, but because they're not blood relatives, it's not going to be handed down to them. And the
What,
courts,
they're kids from a previous monkey marriage?
yeah,
Right.
so they're not going to get it. Let me just check this out.
Yeah, otherwise you don't want to check the facts, otherwise
Yeah.
you could look like a twat spouting shit on the radio. Please check the facts for scientific
And
security.
they're just a bit worried because they're saying that the people in Ohio, which is where they've got the little health thing going on.
So that makes it more believable that it's Ohio. I thought you meant it was Berkshire, in which case it would be rubbish.
It looks like the local people are trying to get in there. They've seen the success of it,
Sure.
and they're
They want a
trying
piece
to
of
go
the
in and
action.
take it over and stuff.
Yeah.
So
Give me the piece of paper.
Throw it away. Play a record. That's the worst one I've ever heard. And there's something wrong with you. You're educationally subnormal.
I've got like a couple of bits. Like I say, I haven't got the in-depth stuff that I
Oh
normally.
no, because usually it's it's
Heavily
pretty
researched.
scientific. Exactly, yeah. Do the jingle. We've come up with a new one, haven't we?
The freak! Say chic.
Cheeky freak of the week.
Right. Well, couple of bits. I don't know which one to use as the main feature for this week.
It's that good, is it?
Well, there's been another one born.
What?
Little kid.
You go on.
4 eyes.
Insult. Just a guy who wears glasses. Come on.
4 eyes, 2 noses, 2 mouths. That's weird, isn't it?
This bloke, did he also have 2 heads, 2 bodies? Sort of born, sort of slightly separately?
He wasn't stood next to a mirror.
No, it's weird that, isn't it?
That's all you've got, is it?
I love that. That's weird. That. Imagine if the doctor said that. Well, Mrs. Parks, kid's got 4 eyes and 2 noses. Weird, isn't it? Any clues? Any clues?
So that's it.
That's
all the
one.
information
Well, I'll
you've
tell you
got.
what,
No, but
that
again-
should be the main one. Okay,
No,
I've answered
but
it.
like I say, what's the idea of this feature? What do I say all the time?
Dunno.
I always say, think about it. Think about what that would be like.
Okay.
What? Giving birth to him?
No. Being, I think it's a girl. Being like her. 2 mouths. 4 eyes. What would that be like? Mad, innit?
I don't know what this feature is.
I don't know, do I? Is there another one? Is that, you said
I mean,
2.
I hope everyone took the opportunity there during that silence to just think about what it would be like. I know I was.
What?
Could she talk with a mouthful?
What?
Is that allowed?
Because she's got 2 mouths.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would that be alright in her house?
She'd be eating
Yeah,
one,
she could talk with one mouth and eat with the other, I
Right, well
suppose.
listen, the main one, right, you've thought about that, that's good. The main cheeky freak of the week, I haven't got all the details. Smallest person ever. Right? How big would you say that is?
Carl is now sort of like holding his hands up like a fisherman, long ways. That's about 1 foot.
Right. Smallest man in the world. I printed the thing off and I can't find it. There's a little picture of him. Right? The odd thing was,
Because why have you asked me how, did it say, or was it a picture of him?
I didn't really read it.
Of course you
Oh,
didn't.
for
Of course you didn't.
Jesus.
I just saw it and thought, oh, that's
What,
that,
you
that,
straight
that's
away
sorted.
assumed it was natural size?
It was that big.
But what do you mean it was that big?
Little fella, like that.
But why are you doing that? What? It was a page with a little fella. How do you know that was natural size?
No, it was, because it said it's world's smallest man. And the funny thing is, I've read the first line, I always read the first line, it said world's
Well
smallest
done,
man.
well done.
The weird thing is, he got an head like a light bulb. The shape of it, apparently. I don't know if that's got anything to do with his shape and size.
Oh, God.
That big.
His name's Mr. Watts.
And the annoying thing is, what got me is, if you're that big,
Yeah.
right, don't have your picture taken next to a fruit bowl.
Why was he having his photo taken next to a fruit bowl?
Dunno. Whoever the photographer was, obviously having a bit of a laugh
Yeah.
at his expense. Because you would just stand in the middle of nowhere, you'd look normal and that, but he was stood there, just leaning on an apple.
Leaning on an apple?
What is this? In what world do you inhabit?
No, this was on the internet. And I printed it
Leaning
off.
on an apple? Was it Tom Thumb? What is this? Are you sure it wasn't that some sort of sci-fi show they're advertising?
No, it was
Leaning on it. Can you can you just lean on the apple? Just lean on the apple there. Do me a favour, you stand next to my chihuahua. You're not taking the piss, are you? No, not at all, no. Would you mind leaning on this matchbox?
Yeah.
Leaning on an apple. And that's what, so it just said he's the world's smallest man leaning on an apple.
smallest man, said about his head being like a light bulb, I don't know what that meant. And I just thought, right, that'll do, that's that sorted, cheeky freak of the week done. I think that was on like Monday. Right? I found that, I thought that's done. Printed it off, forgot to get it off the photocopier. Someone's nicked it.
Play a record.
That you got to...
You know, it's just, Steve.
No, can I just say,
there's no
mate, Carl,
point.
please,
There's no
if I
point.
say, let's have Cheeky Freak of the Week, and you haven't done your research, you haven't got the information, just tell us you can't do it. But don't lead us on.
Don't say things
in
like
this
on
charade.
radio, hold your hand up to me and go, how tall is that?
It's nothing.
That's
this is
radio.
nothing.
It's nothing. I think it was that big because he was leaning on an apple.
It's not enough information.
But, imagine Trevor McDonald coming on, going some news, some stuff. How big's that? How big do you think that is?
Yeah.
Because there was a fella, coming up after Chris Tarrant. Play a record.
I'm angry. I'm actually angry. And if Monkey News is in any way similar, you've really pulled your finger out with that, have you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right, okay, Educating Ricky, part 2.
Right. I'm committed to this treatment.
Yeah.
Is one.
I've got to go for that one.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Or the other one is the police are causing a bit of a stir.
He still says it like it's the best thing he's ever come up with, which in a way it is.
It could be. Right, go on then. I'm committed to this treatment.
Right. Do you know the saying?
Is it just sayings now? Are they all sayings this week?
No, they're not.
Okay.
No, the other one isn't. Frog in your throat?
The saying, there's a frog in your throat?
Yeah.
I assume it's when you croak a little bit. You sound like a frog.
No. Right. Might seem a bit weird, this one, right? But years ago...
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, what is that clue? Committed to this treatment?
It's about frogs kermitted.
Probably works better with a K and an ER written down.
Well, also, if you'd pronounced it kermitted,
yeah.
but not committed.
Committed to this treatment! Right, go on then.
That's genius.
So yeah.
For what?
You go to the doctors and you go with throat hurting a bit.
Right.
And what they did ages ago.
Ages ago? What year was this approximately?
We are going back quite a bit with this one.
Oh, okay, go on.
And the doctor would say...
He got did history. Imagine years ago, go on.
And the doctor would say, right, keep your mouth open, I need to look at your tonsils. And the jaw would ache a bit, because they weren't as quick back then, because they didn't have the technology and stuff, and they'd have to, like, stare at it and study it and stuff. And, like, they get an achy jaw, right?
Keeping their mouth open.
Yeah, like, you get, when you eat a Mars bar or whatever, it's like that. So, they'd sat there, and they used to always close their mouth, and it used to annoy the doctor, right?
Oh.
So what they did, they used to get a toad,
right,
and put it in the mouth.
Rubbish.
Okay, keep talking. Keep talking.
And, that way, they couldn't close the mouth, because either they'd squash it,
right,
or, apparently, you're not allowed to, lick a toad's back.
So the doctor would have them for breaking the law?
No, but it's poisonous, right, a toad's back. You should never lick a toad's back.
Sorry.
Or put it in your mouth, really.
Oh, just stop for a second.
Wait. What?
Can I just ask one question?
Go on,
Can I
yeah,
just
go
ask
on.
one question?
I've got a few, but go on.
Sure. My initial thought is, it sounds like a brilliant bit of sort of medical, knowledge there. It's a great idea.
Yeah.
My only thought is, how does the doctor see past the toad at your tonsils?
What's he actually looking at with the mouth open? Surely the toad is
Isn't
in
it
the
like
way.
hopping around in the way?
It didn't say.
Sorry, and my first question is, was this on the internet?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Carl, that is bollocks. That is... I mean...
Well, alright then. Let's turn this round. Where does the saying, you got a frog in your throat come from?
Probably because you sound a bit croaky. Probably that. Probably because you sound a little bit like a frog when you've got a sore throat.
Carl, did you not question it just for a moment when you read it? Just for a second, didn't you think, that seems an odd approach? Firstly, why a frog, of all the different
because
species?
it's poisonous. A toad.
So it's a toad as well?
Yeah, well, it worked. I'm committed. Worked.
No,
my point is it's frog in the throat.
I was going to change it to, have you heard the news Toad Day? But I went with the frog.
Oh, God!
Right, so
that's rubbish. So that's rubbish. Next, can I have,
Let's play a tune, let's come up with the last one.
Oh. Well, do you know, like, I'm always thinking about stuff when I'm washing up.
I'm just going to look at Steve for the reaction when this question comes out. Okay.
There's been a few things I've been thinking about. Do you know, like, how I try to confuse a computer by putting in Y in the search engine? Yeah. So, along the lines of that, I was thinking in the week, if you put a chameleon on a mirror, what would happen? Right.
Right.
And also, this is a bit of a bigger issue. We're always making more and more stuff, right? In the world, you know, big buildings, big planes, big boats, and that. Will we ever get to a point where all this is too heavy for the world to handle?
Right. What error has he made there, Steve? What physical, scientific error has he made there with that question?
I can't begin to explain it.
Carl, we're not getting the rocks from other planets. It's already here. It's like having a big pile of books in a room and then moving them over to the other side of the room and build a thing going, oh, can the room take it? I'm building a lot of things out of these books.
What about plastic? Where's that come from?
Other chemicals that existed on the planet.
Yeah.
Do you see the point?
Hang on a minute, though. What about a little tree? You plant that as an acorn, it grows, Rick. That's bigger, that's more stuff.
Yeah.
Don't listen to him, Carl. He's patronising
What
you.
about acorns and that though?
Right, they grow from minerals and proteins already in our atmosphere or in our, the mass of Earth.
What about a cat, Carl? Right, you get it, it's a very tiny kitten, but it grows up and it's bigger.
Carl, he's doing it on purpose.
Elephants. Baby
Elephants, they're very small to begin with, but they get bigger and bigger and bigger, and so they get heavier and heavier.
Mind you, dinosaurs have gone.
You know, but you... but you know that's, you know famously that's how Atlantis disappeared. You know, you've heard of the legend of Atlantis. Have you heard of the legend of Atlantis?
I think so.
This was a city that existed, it's proven, right? And what happened was they just kept buying stuff in mail order. They just kept ordering stuff, like the king and stuff, just kept ordering stuff in mail order. He brought girls across,
carpets,
you know,
lot of carpets.
Carpets, he kept buying, TV set, big screen TVs and stuff like that, and eventually...
He bought up all the myrrh that the wise men didn't want.
Yeah, he just, because he's from, like, olden times, and he just kept buying stuff, crazy, like, he was just a shopaholic, basically.
Mental it was.
And he was ludicrous, it was like, and in the end it just sunk.
Too heavy.
And it just sunk.
So, to the Earth, the more planes we build, the more trees we let grow.
Yeah.
From acorns.
And more than that, what about all the people who are overeating?
There's only one
your
thing
Rick
to
Wallers
do.
in this world.
I think we've got to kill off endangered species and burn trees. That's the only way the Earth can survive. You mental.
Well, the weird thing is, right, looking around in the week at weird stuff on the internet, there was this woman who's got a big head.
Oh, yeah.
And, she was fed up with it because when she was walking down the street, it was so big, she couldn't hold it up.
Right.
Right?
She couldn't hold it up.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
Okay, shut up.
So,
She couldn't hold it up.
when she was walking, her eyes were hurting because she had to sort of look up all the time because her head was that heavy. Her chin was sort of balanced on her chest.
Right. And she'd have to peek up, yeah.
So she goes to the doctors, and this was after years and years, and said, you know, I thought I could put up with it, but I can't.
How big was her head?
It's big, Rick.
I don't know if it was like big because there wasn't a picture. I don't know if it was just big or a lot of bone. So it was heavy.
Very heavy.
Right, like the Elephant Man, just outcrops.
Right. So the doctor said, we can sort that out. But we'll have to take your head off.
Right.
Okay,
listen
keep
to
going.
this.
Okay,
Listen,
keep going.
Because what you don't seem to understand is I have the same reaction to you when I see it.
Yeah.
What?
Right?
You're quizzical yourself.
So I looked at it, they took her head off, chipped away a bit of the bone, made her head lighter, put it back on.
Right, play the Smiths.
They took a woman's head off.
Yeah, this is Asked by the Smiths.
Right, you know, I'd just been away with my mum and dad and that. And one of the things I always like doing is having a good chat with my dad about stuff he got up to when he was a kid and that.
Yeah.
Right, because he got up to loads of stuff, and every time I see him, he tells me something, and I think, it's like, why are you just telling me that now? It's brilliant.
Yeah.
Right? So,
I mean, to me, he's kind of like Ronnie Biggs or someone. He's just the most extraordinary kind of.
well, this happened, right?
character.
I can't remember. There was a delay yesterday. There was problems on the Paddington line, and he was saying, "Oh, trains aren't what they used to be."
Sure.
He said, I was looking.
They used to be horses, didn't they?
Well, he was looking in the booklet, and it was saying how you can have your bags collected if you want, or it costs you £5.
Yeah.
So that's outrageous.
Sure, of course.
Right. So he said that's the problem with this country. We've got good with computers and that, but when it comes to like getting service, it's gone out the window.
Yeah.
Right. So he said when I worked on the trains, and he was going on like this, that, and the other. So I said, oh, I didn't know you worked on the trains. He said, yeah, when I was 18, right, it was his job to get the coal, right, and chuck it in the engine, right. One day he's in Grand Central Station in Manchester, which is now the GMEX Centre,
Right.
right, and that was like the main station, and he was in there. The fella who should have been sort of driving the train, right, he said, oh, I'm just nipping to the pub.
Sure.
So you just stay here, keep the engine topped up and stuff.
Yeah.
So he's like, yeah.
For a quick getaway.
Yeah.
Right? So the fella goes in the pub, and my dad's in there, putting the coal on. He did his bacon and eggs on a little shovel.
Yeah. Yeah.
And anyway, fella comes up. He says, right, can you move the train forward now?
Oh, blimey.
So he was like, oh. So he didn't want to say, oh, the fella's in the pub, because he'd know he'd say, what's he doing in the pub? He should be working, right? So he said, yeah, no problem. I'll sort it out. Right. So he puts it into gear or whatever you do on them trains.
Sure,
right?
puts it into first, yeah.
Starts going forward. Now, people who don't know about trains, something that I learnt, is if you're carrying a load of coal or whatever on the back of it, they don't have brakes on each carriage, right? It's only the engine that has brakes on it. So when you pull the brakes on the engine, the whole weight of what it's pulling is pushing you forward.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
So he doesn't realise this though, because he's just used to cooking bacon and eggs and chucking coal.
Of course,
and
yeah.
right?
So you've got to slam the brakes on sooner than you would normally.
Yeah.
Well, you have to anticipate it, I suppose. Yeah.
But he didn't know that,
course
so
he didn't,
he's pulling in, he's thinking, right,
Well, he's a Pilkington.
I'll put the brakes on now.
Yeah.
Right? Puts the brakes on, the train just keeps going, he's going, oh god, it's not stopping.
Sure.
It ploughs right through the signal box. Right? Loads
The
of
baboon
damage.
pulling the signals don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Loads of damage done. Apparently, if it was today's money,
Yeah.
it'd be about £3 to £4 million worth of damage. It shut the station off for 4 weeks. But he didn't lose his job. The fella had lost his job, the one who was in the pub.
Yeah.
He said the funny thing was, he said like £4 million worth of damage. He did his ankle, his wrist in. He had 3 weeks off sick and got paid. So it's brilliant. So
I love your family.
It's extraordinary. The Pilkington gene.
weird, isn't it?
I'd like to see a documentary following you and your family. You'd have to get the family involved.
No, the sort of stuff my dad goes on about. We'd never put it on telly. Oh, talking about my dad. Steve, you'll love this, right?
Go on.
My dad hates being ripped off, right?
Yes. Well, no, I can relate to that. That's important.
Hates coming to London now. He always wants me to go and see them rather than come here, because he just thinks London is like a big rip-off. Last time he came, he got annoyed because I bought him a scone and a cup of tea for like 3 of us, and it was £14, and he just was livid. And then we had an argument about that, and then we went to the Millennium Wheel, and I said, do you fancy going on this? He said, oh, alright. And then he saw the price, and it was something like 20 quid or something. And he said, 20 quid to go up in the air to look at stuff that's on the ground. He said, I might as well stay on the ground.
Brilliant.
Right? Thought, good point.
His logic is impeccable.
So anyway, this is going on. Anyway, he spoke to me the other day. I said, how are things? Are they alright? And that? He said, oh, being ripped off. I said, why? He said he ordered, do you know the place where he got a new bed from because he cut the other one in half,
yeah.
right? He got this bed out of a catalogue. So he sorted out a payment on the phone. He said, look, you're ripping me off a bit here on the interest thing, but well, let's do a deal. We'll sort out a new monthly payment that's different to what it says in the catalogue. And they said, yeah, we'll go along with that. Anyway, so he sorted that out. He was happy. The bed arrived. It's a nice bed. He said, that's great. So anyway, he got the bill for it, and it was the original price.
Oh, I thought it might be the case, yeah.
Right? So he called up and said, I'm not happy with this. He said, we said a deal. And like, oh, no, you don't know what you're talking about. He said, right, don't send me your catalogues anymore. He said, I'm not buying anything from you. You're a rip-off merchant. Right? So anyway, few weeks go by. Post comes, only another catalogue in the post.
He's livid.
Right, so he was well annoyed.
Yeah.
So he looked on the back, and it said on it, this catalogue will always be property of, the company that does it. So you can't throw it away. If we request to have it back, we've got the permission to get it back off you. Right? So he thought, right, well, they're out of order. I told them not to send me one, and they have done, and they're saying I can't chuck it away. So he called them up and said, all right, Mr. Pilkington here, bought a bed off you, you conned me, and that. But, forget that. We've dealt with that. You've sent me a catalogue, I told you not to. It says on the back here that this will always be yours. Yeah? So, in a way, you're using my house as a warehouse. I'll be charging you 26 pence or something a day.
Brilliant.
He said, you already owe me £6.28. Something like that.
Genius.
And, he sorted it out. So again, it just
So hang on, but are they going along with this?
I don't know what happened. He said they sounded annoyed and said they'd get back to him, and they haven't. But he said, I'm not bothered. They can take as long as they want because the money just keeps going up.
Yeah.
So,
what sort of profit has he made so far?
Well, when I spoke to him in the week, it was like £6 odd.
Yeah.
I think that was on Tuesday. So he's just leaving it. It's like an investment.
Yeah.
It's like
It's like an antique he's bought.
It's just going up every day. So.
Well, keep us posted on that. That's dynamite. One day we need to speak to your father.
Yeah, I think so.
So many questions need to be asked of him.
In fact, I might set him to give you a letter to take home.
Yeah.
Dear Mr. Pilkington, your son Karl. Have you got anything interesting about a monkey or an ape so we can do chimpanzee that?
I know something that a lot of other people will know, but I'll
Well, let's do it then.
What's it called again?
Well, should we do a jingle?
Well, do a little jingle for us then.
Oh, chimpanzee that!
Brilliant. That's great.
Right.
So I look forward to that every week.
Yeah.
And what's
Go on,
your
this is the
interesting
interesting
chimp fact?
Right, it's about this monkey ages ago.
Of course.
Don't know where it happened.
17th century?
I think it was a chimp. Right. Got caught having a fag. You know it?
What do you mean, do I know it? Oh, narrow it down. Loads of chimps are caught with woodbines.
Right.
He
it was
got caught having a fag.
So it was sent to court. And
Was it underage?
it was
And it got someone to go into the newsagent for him.
Did it get a bigger gorilla
Yeah,
to
got
go
a
into the
bigger
news
gorilla.
to get 20 Rothmans?
it ended up doing time. Because it was
Go
smoking
back a minute.
something.
Wait a minute.
What I mean-
Whoa.
No,
whoa.
I don't know that's as much as I know, so there's no point questioning.
That is as much as you know, isn't it? Quite literally.
Sorry, but why did he go to prison?
It's against the law to have a monkey having a fag. Wherever it was.
In a built-up area. What are you talking about? It's against the law for a monkey to have a fag. What if it got it himself? Even if it just... What about if it earned it himself, just like moving tyres round or mucking out
honestly,
the zebras?
I don't know the full story. That's
You don't know the full story, do you?
Well, do you think?
You never do,
I
do you?
presume it was a monkey from a zoo, right?
Yeah.
Do you think it'd be fed up, though? Because in a way, it's home from home, isn't it? When I read it, I didn't think it was that bad because I just
Carl,
thought, well,
they don't put monkeys in prison.
They didn't put the monkey in a prison.
They're overcrowded. They haven't got the space.
Well, I'll find it and give you the where I got it from, and you
Chopper
can.
Harris was furious because the monkey got the top bunk.
Yeah.
Can I just?
And he did. Okay, then. Oh, chimpanzee that. Another one next week.
I don't think so.
I had a bit of good news this morning.
Go
Rick. I was on the tube coming down, and I don't want to sound arrogant, I don't want to sound pushy, but I was at Green Park, and I'm fairly certain, Rick, it's not 100% corroborated, I'm fairly certain that a woman pinched my arse. So what do you think of that? Yes.
There's a lot of pickpockets around Green
No,
Park, so be careful.
no, my wallet was still there.
Really?
But even if it wasn't, you know, that would have been money well spent. But but the wallet was still there. So what do you think of them apples? Eh?
So what did she just pinch your arse?
I can't confirm it at this stage, exactly what happened, but it certainly felt like a pinch. I looked round, there was a woman behind me.
Right.
She was fairly old. I think she's probably in her mid-30s.
Right.
Kind of reddish hair.
Right.
I don't know if she's listening.
Right.
But she knows where I am. And so I don't know how to proceed, really, Rick. I don't know if it's worth putting up some posters around the Green Park area.
Well, what you could
just
do-
to try and corroborate
Well,
it. If you saw a woman pinch the lanky guy's arse,
No,
please get in touch.
you could probably get in contact with British Rail and go back over their CCTV
Exactly,
thing,
CCTV cameras, yeah.
and then they could probably zoom in and, you know, sort of identifying sort of birthmarks, or she might have been holding some
Then I could hire a private eye.
Yeah.
Again, money well spent.
Well, so there you go.
You know, I'm just saying maybe maybe things are looking up.
Things
It's getting
are-
towards Christmas.
The worm has
Eh?
turned.
I mean, you know, it's a little sexy story to get the show going.
It is
But
pretty
so what do you make
sexy.
of that then, Carl?
What do
'Cause
you
I know
think
you're
of
quite
that,
damning. What's your answer?
Well, I mean, you're quite a tall fella,
Sure.
so she must have really wanted to sort of reach up and have a pinch.
Hmm.
Do you know
Well,
what
you
I
think
mean?
maybe she did it with her teeth?
He didn't say she was a dwarf.
No, but Steve's taller than, you know, his arse.
Yeah, but his arse isn't 6'9", is it? His arse is about 3 foot off the floor.
4 foot?
What?
4 foot off the floor?
No, I don't think so. About 3. She'd have to be a midget to have to reach up to pinch Steve's arse. He is very tall, but
I don't know what your point is there, Carl. You're just trying to, you're just,
No,
I think
no.
maybe you're just a little bit jealous. Just a little bit of jealousy.
Well, do you know what happened to me on the way in?
go on.
A homeless person called me a dickhead.
How did he know? Do you know him? Is that why?
He's like the local
Ne'er-do-well.
big issue fella.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And he knows me, he sees me walking up and down the street.
Oh, that's
a
how he
lot,
knew you.
Right? So I normally have a bit of a chat with him and that. And I walk past him, and, you know, I can be a little bit cheeky with him, because I've been cheeky with him in the past, with stuff.
You pinched his arse.
No, just, you know, saying stuff like, God, you're always there, haven't you got home to go to, and stuff like that.
Yeah,
No, but
just
he-
breaking the ice, go
no,
on.
but he knows, and he'd laughed at that, right,
Yeah,
last time,
yeah,
so I thought
yeah.
I can be a bit cheeky, right? So he goes, do you want a big issue? I said, no. He said, come on, I've got loads of them, right? So I sort of said, oh, when I was a kid, and I used to do a free paper around the free papers one, I said, just put them in the bin and go home, right? And he went, yeah, but how am I going to get any money doing that, you dickhead?
You see, I can see his point. He is homeless and having to sell newspapers to get 50p or a quid or whatever.
Yeah, and sometimes I treat him, right? And today I didn't have any money. I had a takeaway last night and I normally give them a quid. And I felt bad not being able to do that because I didn't have any money on me last night.
Right.
I couldn't look him in the eye.
Did you explain this to the homeless person, the traumas of the takeaway without the tip? Did you explain that, you know, you've had it hard as well? I go, look, you don't
I
know
had food delivered to my warm flat.
Yeah,
It was a
yeah,
nightmare.
you don't know what that's like. You don't know what the trauma is because you can't have food delivered to your flat because you haven't got one. So please don't look at me like that. You should have said.
But most people ignore him. At least I gave him a bit of acknowledgement and sort of...
took the mick.
Yeah.
I didn't think I was being friendly.
No, I know.
You gotta be careful with the homeless, because this is true, and this is, you know when the clocks went back recently, so
Yeah.
you got an extra hour in bed?
Yeah.
And, I was at Cash Point with a friend of mine, and there was a homeless person sat by the Cash Point, and, you know, we would get some money out, and she said, spare some change, and my friend's, he's a bit awkward, he just trying to make conversation with her, he went, oh, clocks go back? Extra hour in bed?
Oh no.
I gave her 2 quid, I felt so bad. He didn't do it intentionally, he didn't
No,
realise
no.
what he'd said.
I
Just
know,
making
just
conversation.
bumbling.
It's tricky making conversation with the homeless, because there's so many areas you've got to avoid, you know,
I
what was
know.
on the telly,
Yeah.
you know.
Although I get recognised by homeless people and think, oh, are they, I don't know where...
Well, you got to remember that's very much your demographic, Rick.
Yeah.
You know, people who watch TV through the window of Dixon's.
Yeah, in Dixon's. Yeah, there was a... Ricky Gervais is on.
Yeah.
Pop the
Well,
telly on.
they can smell the alcohol on you, they think you're one of them.
Did you ever go on a picnic, Carl? Was there places to go in Manchester, or was it like Quarryland, mostly?
The problem with those adverts, like when I was growing up, they'd sort of give you ideas, because remember the Charlie's one, right? And we were on holiday, right? And I met these 2 lads who are knocking about with, like, mates and that. And that advert came on, and we thought it'd be a good idea to wind his mum up, because this advert had just been on saying, you know, kids are going missing in Wales, right?
Yeah.
So we said, oh, this will be a good laugh. We put the kid in the wardrobe. His mum came back from shopping. We said, oh, he's gone missing. We haven't seen him for hours.
That's terrifying.
I know.
That's
How old were you?
appalling.
How
thing
old
to
were
do.
you?
About 13.
And what was his mum? She must have been,
She was, yeah, she was going mad, and that's when we thought, oh god, we've gone. Will we say anything? Will we pretend we don't know where he is?
Open the wardrobe,
Yeah.
he'd suffocated.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
horrible, Carl.
I know, but
Such
it's
a
just
cruel
what you do,
thing.
isn't it? It's just what you do.
Well, no, you do.
What do you mean? It's just
Well,
what you do. But what was it? Was he in the wardrobe? Was he listening to this? Why didn't he go, Mum, it's alright, when he heard her crying?
No, she wasn't crying. She was just panicking and like screaming a little bit and that.
Screaming a little bit.
Okay, we'll tell her when the screaming starts.
Exactly, yeah.
And then what's the other thing? Like on the same, like, you know, all this was going on when I was growing up, and one time we're on holiday, and my mum says, right, if you're going on the beach, it's a big beach, but you know, if you're going to go out and play there, I need to know where you are.
So
what part
where
of the
these
beach you're going
bells?
to.
where this cowbell round your neck.
She gave me a balloon.
Good
Give you a
idea.
balloon.
A balloon, and it just, you know, sort of attached to my arm, so wherever I was playing in the sea and that, you can see the balloon and that.
Brilliant.
But then the problem was, everyone else thought that's a good idea, and it was just like loads of kids with balloons and that,
Oh, I ruined it.
so that didn't work.
Yeah.
I had to bin that idea.
Weren't you in a car park once?
Oh no, it was New Year, and we were all gathering up. You know, like in Trafalgar Square at New Year, everyone gathers and they have a big kind of party and stuff. Well, in Bristol, they do something very similar on a smaller scale. And I was there one New Year, I was with my friends, and for some reason I picked up a balloon during the evening. You know, I don't know where I got it from, but I was holding this balloon, and these girls came up to me, and I thought, yeah, nice, you know, maybe a little New Year kiss. They came up, they said, hey, are you going to be here for a while? And I said, well, yeah, I probably will. They said, it's just that we've arranged to meet back at you at midnight. What do you mean? Because I was so tall and had a balloon, I was towering above everyone else. I said, what? They said, we're going to meet back at you at midnight. They said, don't worry, you can go about your business, because we can see you wherever you are.
This is where Nelson's column is.
No. No, this is in Bristol.
Oh, right, okay, yeah.
Yeah. And so I'm sort of wandering around, and then at midnight these two girls turned up again, and some of these lads come and meet them, and they're sort of laughing and joking. I'm thinking, oh, they're probably going to invite me back to a party. I watched them get in a cab. They went off. They had a wild night. But then I did have a balloon, so it was a great New Year for me.
I did have a balloon. Oh. I lost 400 quid cash this week.
Gambling?
No, that's tragic. This is why it gutted me.
It wasn't even on your gambling addiction.
No, I had a photo shoot, I had the suit, right, and I'd claimed back some expenses, and I had it in my pocket, and then when I took the suit home, it must have fallen out in the street or the cab, and I remembered it, and I went every pocket twice, and it was just the fact, I don't think about, oh god, that's terrible, that's a terrible blow, I think, oh god, if I had it back now, it would be free money.
Yeah.
If I suddenly found it now, I'd have £400 that was just free money, and I had a little nap to get over it, and I was...
and you were fine.
I was okay. But that was someone just found what a gift that is.
Oh.
Just, I mean, untransport.
Was it in a money clip? Was it rolled up in a money clip?
No, it was just literally 400 quid in an envelope.
Oh,
and
that's
so
a
that
treat.
I know. See, I'd always hand it in. I genuinely would, unless I found it in the middle of a forest or something. If it was in the street. Do you know what I mean? Though,
because a bear dropped it.
Yeah. But I mean, if I found it in a pub or a cab, I just hand it to anyone who was
rummaging through.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But I'd hand it in.
Well,
but there's no way. If they found it in the street, there's no way they could do it. You know, it goes to the police station and it sits there for 6 months. But
yeah, exactly. Well, it's not. It's a waste of time. Pocket it. But because when I was younger, I remember being outside the post office once when I was about 10 or 12 and finding a purse. And thinking, oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
And opening it up, there was some money in there, and a pension book, and so it was obviously an old lady. I found an address, I sent it to her, and my mum said, you know, you've been so good there, you'll probably get a little reward. She'll probably send you a little reward. Nothing. I got maybe a thank you note, but no cash, no moolah, nothing.
Really?
And I was livid, because I'd been told that I was going to get a reward. I thought I've been a good Samaritan, nothing. So, many moons later, when I was at university, I learnt from that, and this is the most bizarre thing.
This explains a lot, doesn't it, Carl?
This is like the Mary Celeste. I went to a cash point to I thought, I can't get my card in here. And I realised there was already somebody's card in the machine. They'd put the code in, but then they just disappeared. They'd been kidnapped or something. So it was just there, waiting, sitting. It said, what do you want to do? And it gave you a number of options. I thought, interesting.
Steal or go to heaven?
Yeah, exactly.
He went, oh dear.
Yeah. Well, I pressed balance just to check what their bank balance was.
Unbelievable.
It was a considerable sum of money. I'm not going to lie to you. It was not typical student debt. It was like, I think they were a foreign student. There was a lot of cash in there. A lot of money.
Did you feel a slight bulge in your trousers when you saw the amount of money?
I couldn't believe my luck. I thought to myself, now then, I could just take that card out and hand it in, or I could teach them a small lesson.
Right.
And maybe give myself a reward, because last time I did that, I didn't get a reward. So if I give myself £30, then I'll take the card out.
30?
Give myself 30
You didn't really?
Well, I thought that's a good reward, and I went in, I handed the card in, I took that
Steve,
and that's a little reward for me. And I'll tell you this, don't think it's evil, because I went in and I bought everyone a drink.
Well, brilliant.
Yeah, I didn't tell them I got the money free.
Well done. Excellent. So probably gangsters are quite generous with the money they've stolen from other people.
Yes, but someone's negligence, Rick, has lent... the thing is this,
Steve,
right?
I believe it, except that buying people a drink, Carl. What do you think?
Well, I kind of thought that when he said it, but then I thought, but they'll be buying him back.
So he's still...
So in a way, he's still a winner.
Yeah. Everyone's a winner in that situation, including the student, because frankly, if there had been a less scrupulous person who found it, they'd have probably helped themselves to a considerable sum.
I cannot believe he did that.
There was thousands and thousands of pounds in there.
What if it was... what if Beadle had jumped out and slapped you with his little claw and said, we've been filming this merchant?
Well, what? So what?
How old were you then?
I don't know, 19, 20?
Would you do it again, or was it just to get the world back for the old lady's purse?
Possibly do it again, yeah.
You're joking!
Well, you've got to think of it this way. You've got to think of it as there was a lot of money in there, and someone less scrupulous than me would have taken a fortune. They'd have cleaned them out. Whereas I just took a small reward, which I thought was more than enough for someone's negligence. And I've returned the card. They've got the card back. Everything's fine. Think of someone else. I could have gone on a spending spree. I could have been buying stuff, all sorts.
Yeah, but it wasn't yours at all.
Yes, but they probably would have given me a reward. And because, you know, sometimes people forget, or, you know, they don't give you a reward, I thought I should take it myself.
He had to go at your dad from nicking a loaf of bread out of a phone box.
Yeah, but that's because it's for old people, geriatrics and stuff.
How do you know how old was your people who you were robbing from?
It was on a student campus.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Wow.
I think it was more. I thought it was excellent behaviour. I thought it was
that's
good, honourable
incredible.
behaviour.
That's showing another side to him, isn't it?
What would you have done, Carl, in that situation? And tell the truth.
I might have helped myself a little bit.
There you are. I don't know what this is helping
No,
yourself
but-
a bit.
Like you say, just sort of, you know, stand at him back and sort of say, you know,
If you find a £1 coin in the street and you can be bothered to bend over for it, then have it. But someone's cash point card or personal belongings.
I'd let them know though. Did you send it to them and say, I've you know, I've service charge included. I've took that out already.
No, I handed it in to
You'd
the.
let them know. What do you mean? You'd let them know?
I'd say, you know, you're lucky here, right? I just took. I'd probably take 20 actually,
Okay.
because that's just like one note.
Sorry. Right. Okay. You are winding me up.
No, I'm not. I mean, not for once. I mean, I know what Steve's like. He is tight, right? He is, and you know that, don't you, Steve?
Financially,
I'm not,
you mean?
Well, no, I mean just the way you are. You're very
Sure.
sort of, you know, you're not wasteful with your money.
I'm careful. No, I'm not wasteful. Absolutely right.
No, but to the extreme.
Not towards the extreme. Not towards the extreme.
No.
Look
Come
after
on,
the
come on
pennies.
now.
The pounds will take care of themselves. All right. Simple to remember. Good advice.
Yeah,
All right.
But the thing is, right? I know that I take the mickey out of you for, like, you know, the way you look and stuff.
Sure.
Right.
Well, I'm right back at you.
But the thing is, you can't help that.
Absolutely.
But I'll tell you something that women don't like,
Sure.
and it's fellas who are tight with the money.
Sure. I'm not frugal with money with ladies. I'm frugal with money with you.
Well,
I've got no reason to splash money out on you.
I've never seen you splash money out.
Well, you've never been out with me.
Steve, have you ever splashed out on a lady?
No, but I hope to one day. The right lady.
Play a record. Yeah.
First of all, right, I thought of like things that we've done in the past,
Sure.
and like quotes and that you were talking about.
Yeah.
That quote that people say that you know, money doesn't make you happy.
Yeah.
Right, we're just rattling through some here.
Yeah.
That annoys me.
What?
Well, the quote, money doesn't make you happy.
Yeah, because it
Why?
does. It clearly does.
Right.
Without it, life's pretty dull, isn't it?
Yeah. Good.
Right, so
Okay.
so that's like a little short thing, and you know, then that sort of makes you think about people with money. There was a programme on in the week. I don't know if you saw it, Steve. The one Posh Loaded.
That was brilliant, wasn't it? That was a great show.
so annoying.
Oh yeah.
There was a girl on there, right, who's from a rich family and that, and you know, it's not her fault she's from a rich family.
No.
It's like how posh people annoy people. That doesn't annoy me, because the way I sound is because of where I'm brought up and that.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, if you sound posh, you sound posh. It's,
Yeah.
you know, it doesn't change you as a person or whatever.
Yeah, that's quite
But this
true.
girl, right, did you see it, Steve?
I did.
You didn't see it,
I
did you,
didn't,
Ricky,
no.
right? This girl goes shopping. She buys like 4 t-shirts and a crappy little handbag.
Yeah.
Spends about 1,300 quid. And she's just wasting it going, you know, the woman's saying, oh, you'll love these, you know, they're really in fashion. She said, oh, whatever, I'll probably only wear them once anyway. And it's just, that sort of thing annoys me.
Yeah.
You know, people with money, you know, who have grafted for it are good. But like, you know, people who just get money given to them from the rich parents trying to make the world. There was another point, right, where she's in a shoe shop, right, and she's like got these big boots and stuff. But part of the problem is, right, she's quite odd looking and that, right, but she's got a lot of money, so she makes herself look half decent.
Yeah.
Problem is, she's got fat ankles.
She's got what?
Fat ankles.
Right.
And they drive her up the wall, because no matter, I mean, it's one of them things, isn't it? It's almost like God has gone, yeah, you can have all the toffees and stuff you want, you can have, like, your nice t-shirts, but at the end of the day, love, you're stuck with these ankles, and you can see these,
I love the idea of God saying, right, you can have all the toffees you want.
Yeah.
And you have nice handbags and that, but you're stuck with these ankles. Oh, God.
and I really wanted to get a job in that shoe shop where she was going in, blowing her dad's money, and she was calling up her dad saying, oh, Daddy, is it alright if, you know, I'm just out shopping, I've just bought some shoes that have cost like £1,000, and I really wanted a job in that shoe shop, just so I could sit there, and when she comes in, you go, oh, hello, love, whatever her name is, lovely to see you here again. got some lovely new shoes in. Look at these nice new boots. Everyone's wearing them. Victoria Beckham, and you know all the it girls are wearing them. Yeah, try them on. Oh, you can't because your ankles are so fat. You can't get into these. Never mind. Here's some boots. She really annoyed me, and I'm not a nasty person.
You're
but
not.
She brought it out of me.
Oh, I'm worried though. This idea of you getting a job in a shoe shop. I'm not
know.
sure you're qualified.
I like all that's way round it. That some people go, oh, I'd like her to lose all her money or something. He'd like to actually bother go through getting the job in the shop.
Yeah.
And then just waiting there.
You'd be too busy mucking around outside like, on some kind of trolley stuck in a little lake.
Yeah.
But interestingly in that show, I was watching that show, and at one point, you mentioned that her fat heels or her fat ankles.
Yeah.
She said, I'd like to have various changes to my body, plastic surgery, I'd like to do this to my face, and da-da-da-da. And, her mum's there, and her mum's going, no, don't be so, no, you're my daughter, you're beautiful, da-da-da-da. No, you shouldn't, I'm not gonna let you have those, da-da-da. She went, I'd love to have an operation on my fat ankles. Her mum went, yeah, I do agree with that. What kind of a mother does that?
Oh, how bad can fat ankles be?
I know.
What were these ankles like?
Well, tell us, Rick, you must know.
No, do you know what I mean?
They were like, if you said to a little kid, say a 4-year-old kid, draw a person, they'd draw her legs. Do you know where there's no sort of thin bit, and then it comes out a bit for your knees?
Oh yeah, and then
down to
just
ankles. It was just like 2 logs.
People go and say, I like your new flares. What do you mean flares? They're leggings. Cheeky.
Awful, so, you know.
It's okay, so you're putting in posh girls with fat ankles. Yeah, okay, what's your next one on Room 101?
Right, another quick one, really.
Go on.
People in supermarkets.
Right. What, the people who serve?
Yeah. It's mainly these shops you get round in London that are like open 24 hours, right?
Yeah.
You'll go in and you'll buy you know, you don't do your main shop there. It's mainly just little bits in it. Your carton of milk and
Sure.
maybe a loaf, a couple of balm cakes and that.
Yeah.
And you go in there.
Who still buys balm cakes?
Right.
Do they have them in London?
Yeah.
Do you ever ask? Would you be annoyed if they said balm cakes? We don't have those down here, they're rubbish.
That's happened before when I asked for gravy and they didn't know what gravy was.
When did you ask for gravy?
In a chippy.
What do you mean? What'd you say? Have you got any gravy?
Just because you up north you have chips and pie and gravy on it, and they
Yeah.
didn't have a clue what I was talking about.
Right, okay.
So that annoys me actually. Stick that on the list. But
You've got fishmen up north.
but listen, right? You'll go.
We saw a sign in the north, right? It was a little shop, and the sign said, "We sell bread." And it was handwritten. It was like there was probably like a rush with loads of people in turbans going.
What's this bread you talk of?
Yeah, little headscarves, old women running down with their little. Oh,
But anyway, these shops, right? So you go in there, getting your stuff, and you'll go up to the till, and they don't say hello to you. They don't sort of smile. They just bleep the stuff through. They don't tell you how much it is. They just sort of expect you to look at the till to see how much it is. So you can get your hand in your pocket, give them the money, they'll give you the change, and they won't say goodbye.
Yeah.
So it's like they just can't be asked
Sure.
to have any sort of, hello, how are you doing?
Yeah.
I don't want a big chat. I don't want to know what they're getting up to and what, you know, what the dad does for a living and all that. I just want, like, how are you doing? You know, you're well, right. Oh yeah, this bread's, you know, popular or whatever. Right, that'll be £5.
You need to keep abreast of which breads are selling well.
oh, Mother's Pride. That's a good choice. That's 70% of all our stock is worth.
So that really, even though, you know, it is a 24-hour
I'll be
shop,
honest. I would err on the side of silence, not rudeness. I hate rudeness if they do that, but I would rather. I'd start to go, £1.50, please, and that'll be fine for me. Any more?
What about
It's like-
hello and goodbye, have a good day? Not in an
It
American
doesn't
way.
bother me. I prefer people who say "have a nice day" and don't mean it to people who don't say it at all and don't mean it. To be honest, I don't worry about that mock sincerity because I think it.
No,
it
Matt,
does
it's
the
just
job.
normal,
Yeah.
isn't it? It's
No,
like
no. I'm saying I like people who say I don't care. They say, "Oh, nice to see you. Come again. Have a nice day." It doesn't bother me. But a chat. I hate people who think they're the life and soul.
No.
When
I
you're going
don't
through.
mean like that. I mean,
Okay,
like,
nuts.
you know, if you go through a door, you hold it open, you go, there you go. You know what I mean?
You expect a thank you.
Yeah, that's all.
Yeah, and also when do you come in at like a narrow walkway and you're both walking there, and I stop or get out of the way, and they tut like I should have. I want to go. Hold on, look, we're both in the same boat here.
Yeah.
Why is it me? That annoys me. Where people
Oh,
think
tutting when they're in the wrong.
They own the street, or if two people aren't looking where they're going, it's one person's fault. That really annoys me. Yeah.
So that's it really. I mean, I know the 24-hour shops and they're knackered and stuff, but politeness, just to say.
Well, it costs nothing, does it?
No.
So those are your little quick ones. Then we get on to your big three, don't we? The big one.
Yeah,
Should we play a record and come back to that?
I know what you want.
I'm talking to Karl Pilkington on room 101 on XFM 104.9.